I've been to like I've been to at least 10 MLB ballparks, I think.
What
But
have been your worst ones?
worst ones, I mean, beautiful ballpark and like super storied and historic. And I think this is just a personal issue with myself more than the actual ballpark itself. It was a great place to watch a Phillies game, and it was a great experience in general. Just like when I went to Fenway Park, it was 2018, and I went with my family. We sat in the grandstand in the infield. So
Yeah.
like the old grandstand that's been there since the park was erected. I don't know how many times they've renovated that, but it's got the classic chairs and everything you'd expect out of an old stadium like that. And they don't have seats like modern stadiums. There's no like seat cover. I mean, the seat covers and everything they go up, and it's like it's a normal chair, but it's not a modern chair. So the way it's constructed, I mean, I'm sure everyone's seen it at Fenway Park. Like some of the seats don't face home plate; they face forward. So if you're sitting in right field, you have to look to your left to watch the pitch. So it's an old stadium. They haven't really changed that main grandstand. When I was sitting in the seat, my feet were and my knees were too big for me to sit normally. So the entire game I had to sit with my feet under the chair, crisscrossed, and that was the only way I could fit in the row. So like that's more of a personal issue than the actual ballpark itself, but that made the experience a little tougher. But I think if I went back, I would either try to sit on the monster, which I know is difficult, but either do that or don't they have I'm pretty sure they have bleachers in the outfield. So I'd much rather I went to Progressive Field, which is in Cleveland, and the whole outfield is bleachers. And that might have been the best MLB ballpark experience I've had. It's so nice sitting in bleachers in the outfield watching a baseball game.
I love the
So
bleachers from the Pirates. It's my favorite place to
yeah,
watch a game.
that's the best spot to watch a game in the outfield. Um, so like that was one of the worst experiences one of the I don't want to call it a bad experience because Fenway Park is really cool, but that took away from the experience a little bit, and I would sit somewhere else if I were to go back. But everywhere else I've been, like some of the newer stadiums are a bit more corporate, like City Field's pretty lifeless. I've been to Nats Park, which is, in my opinion, very lifeless, except when I went in 2010 when the Phillies clinched the NL East. Roy Halladay pitched like 8 scoreless, and it might have been a complete game shutout by Roy Halladay to clinch the NL East. And it was 75% Phillies fans. We were chanting EAGLES on the way out. So that was one of my more fun experiences at an opposing park, but still a pretty lifeless stadium in general. But then some but places like Progressive Field where you wouldn't expect as much juice, like those, that was a fun stadium to go to. So PNC Park's nice too. I've been there. I've told you about
Yeah,
that.
I think PNC is just like it has to be in the top five just because of
Yeah.
the way it's constructed. Like there's not a bad seat. I personally like the left field bleachers. That's like my go-to spot. I know all the food around there. I know where I can get ice cream if I need ice cream, beer if I need beer. You could sit. Me and Joey Perry literally logged a 9 inning shift where we got food and beer like before the game, sat, did not get up till the eighth to get like ice cream, or maybe it was like right after taking me out to the ball game in the seventh to get ice cream, sat again, and like we literally didn't move. Like I was literally just this on a bleacher row,
Yeah.
me and Joey Perry
When
just
you can when you can spread out on the
bro,
bleacher, oh,
just like this.
you can't beat that.
Me and JP, and like JP plays like college baseball, so he's like teaching me some shit about the game. Like he was teaching me some of the stuff they do. Like if it's a 2-2 count, like they'll like they'll like put their hat out and beg for like whatever. It's just like some fun like baseball stuff. Like so we were just in there just chilling. I love that. Because I just like watching baseball games when it feels like baseball. You hear the pop of the mitt,
Yeah.
every crack of the bat, and the crowd like crescendos via the game. So like if it's a 1-2 count and there's like a guy second and third, you need this out. Like there's gonna be a lot of buzz
Yeah.
in the ballpark.
People are actually paying attention to the game. They're not just there
Yeah.
for an
Yeah,
experience. Yeah.
they like buzz, it buzzes, it
Yeah.
buzzes, it buzzes. And then like if it happens, it's like ah, and if it
Yeah.
doesn't, it's like ah. You like feel
Yeah.
the
Yeah. Yeah.
wave of the baseball game. at Globe Life, which I went to today, yesterday or 2 days ago, the Ranger Stadium, like, bro, when I tell you guys, it was the worst baseball, like Duska, the worst baseball experience ever. I went to an Oklahoma City AAA Comets game 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, and it was so much fun. Like, so much fun.
Minor league baseball is a great
Dude,
time.
it was 105 degrees. We were right behind this home plate, like, I don't know, 10 rows up. And like it was so fun. Dallas Keuchel, who won the 2015 Cy Young, was pitching for the Las Vegas Aces.
Wow.
And he was shoving, bro. He was shoving. He
Is he
pitched
on
like,
rehab assignment or is he
yeah, no, well, he
okay?
played in the Japan League last year and he's making a comeback to the MLB. He was by far the best pitcher we saw. Like he was so good. He was Andrew Thomas, who was on the D-backs when they went on their run. He is in AAA for the Dodgers, which is Oklahoma City Comets. So that was fun to see. But anyway, it was like such a fun environment. Dude, Globe Life, like you walk in and at first you're like, what? Like it's crazy. You're like, oh my gosh, it's an indoor stadium. It's like a Costco, like massive. It's like when it's like when Europeans came to America and like went into a Walmart. They're like, what? That was like the original experience. And then like 15 seconds later, I'm like, wait, this like doesn't feel like a ballpark. Like, well, I don't feel baseball. Like, it just doesn't feel.
Yeah.
So then we get to our seats and
It's like a mall where baseball happens to be happening. Yeah.
yes, that's literally Globe Life. So, dude, it's like a 1-2 count, and the crowd, there's no buzz or up and down in the crowd. The crowd is the PA system has to like do something to the crowd to announce that something big might be happening. So if it's like a 1-2 count, bases loaded, you need this out. They'll literally just like play swag surf for like 6 seconds. And you're like, what? What is happening? Nobody, you don't do that at a freaking you don't do that at a baseball game. You don't just like play swag surf in the middle of a count. Like,
Play
bro,
the organ. Like
yeah,
dun
dun,
dun
dun,
dun
dun,
dun
dun,
dun
dun,
dun dun.
dun. Yeah,
Yeah.
like something like casual, like ba. But
Yeah.
dude, this was like literally like rap. Like it was like an NBA game. It was like a mall in an
Yeah.
NBA game. That's how I can. It was horrible, bro. Like literally the worst viewing experience ever. Luckily, I went with cool people, so we were like talking the whole time. But like Globe Life sucks. It sucks. And I haven't been to a lot of ballparks. Duska, I have the exact opposite experience at Fenway. I think it's the best
I
American
see. I
sporting.
saw where you were sitting. Like that is definitely preferred seating.
And yeah, and like just
Yeah.
to give context to what Duska's saying, like I was in club seats because John May's dad's company had like tickets. So it was me,
Yeah.
Czar, HP, and then HP's boy. Come on, Charlie. His last name's whatever. Oliveri, Ben Oliveri. Okay, my bad. Okay,
Ben.
Ben. Yeah. So it was me,
Shout out
Ben.
Ben.
Yeah, shout out Ben. Me, Ben, Harry, Czar, and we're literally in the club, and like you could order beers from your phone, and like people would just come and like give you a beer. Like it was insane. You could order food, order beers, and like they won on a walk off, and dude, it was a Friday night. It was like kind of cold. Everybody had like their hoodies on. And bro, like Boston people, it's like Philly. Like everybody just loves sports. So every pitch is like, oh, you motherfucker, like what are you doing? And then like any like hit, it's like, yes. Like you just ride the emotions with all the Boston people. And like, dude, it's like watching a game in a museum. Like Babe Ruth literally played at that ballpark. Hey, there's something so
Yeah.
it's like a
That's pretty
prehistoric.
sick.
It's literally a baseball museum that they still play games in. Like I can't explain how awesome that baseball environment was. And I went to Pirates opening day this year, and it was literally the greatest thing ever. Like we saw Connor Griffin's double. He hit his first ever career hit. Like I'm munching on some like frozen lemonade. Oh, you know. So, I mean, I love baseball and Globe Life. If you're ever going to a Rangers game, like, don't. Or if you do, like, just come with the expectation that, like, it will suck and you need to, like, eat ice
It'll feel
cream.
like an NFL game.
Yeah, I've been to NFL games that are cooler, though.
Yeah.
NFL games, like, at least, like, it's more competitive because, like, football games, like, there's natural urgency because there's only 17 games. So like NFL relies on like that urgency in every game. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It's way I think like that was singular in terms of like really I think it just like an NBA like going to a Wizards game like that's
Yeah.
probably what it's like.
just lifeless
Yeah,
corporate
because like the Wizards,
professional sport.
I've been to the Wizards Stadium like for a Caps game, and like it's nothing crazy. Like it's
Yeah.
pretty shitty. So like,
Really, even a Caps game?
oh no, Caps game was cool, but like I'm saying the
Okay.
stadium itself is like just shitty and lifeless.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
it's like super corporate. Well, the concourses are like not there. There's no like you see the game while you're walking through the concourse. Like if you go to PPG Paints Arena, like where the Pens play, like all over the concourse, you like feel like you're a part of a hockey game, even though you're like in the concourse. Same as like
yeah.
a PNC, like same as like PNC Park, right? But if you go to like the Globe Life Stadium in Dallas, I mean, for the Rangers, like when you go to the concourse, you like don't even know a baseball game's going on,
Can't even see. Yeah, I think that's an underrated feeling is being able to when you're walking on the concourse, you can see the field,
bro.
and it just
Yes.
feels like a big deal. Yeah,
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 because you like you see the field and like yeah, like even in a hockey game, like the Caps, like if you go to get food, like you're completely removed from the viewing experience. For
yeah.
the Pens, like it's like still you like hear the ice puck. You could like look down and always see the game, so like you never feel removed from this
Yeah.
experience. Um, so I
The
guess
best. We can wrap it up, but I was going to share the best that feeling of walking from the concourse onto into the stadium, wherever whatever sporting event you're watching. The best experience. I think everyone knows like can kind of picture that feeling. The best experience of that is that I've ever had was at the Palestro, which is where Penn basketball plays. They play the PCL is the Philadelphia Catholic League. They play the playoff basketball games there. And the best experience I've ever had, like walking from concourse to see field or court, whatever event's about to take place, has been walking in the Palestra, which is an old ass building, just like you were talking about with Fenway. You walk from the concourse, which is like so old. It's similar at UNC.
yeah.
Um, you walk from the concourse into the stadium, you're just like, whoa, like this is just like a basketball palace, and whatever I'm
Hmm.
about to watch is going to be an amazing experience. So that's the best experience I've ever had with that concourse feeling walking into a stadium, which
Yeah.
sounds like they don't have that at Globe Life Park, which is
No, they have none of that.
unfortunate for the citizens of Texas.
Yeah, but like there's just Texas is fine, like Dallas is fine because there's so much to do, dude. It's insane.
Yeah,
Like they have literally in Arlington in like a 1 mile radius, you have the Cowboys, the Dallas Rangers, or the Texas Rangers. Then you've got like I think the soccer team plays, there's like a Dallas FC that plays there
yeah, yeah,
maybe. Um and then you've literally got Six Flags, like a Dallas Six Flags, like a roller coaster park. Like it's all like right there. There's this
yeah.
bar called Texas Live. It's like, dude, Dallas is so popping. We went to a lake yesterday and like we like rented a boat and it was like within 30 minutes. Like within 30 minutes you can do anything in Dallas. Like it's massive. I understand why people like that live in Texas, like once they leave, they're like, well, what is this? It's like in Pittsburgh, it's like, oh, let's go to Sheets. It's like they don't. There's nobody like going to like Quick
Yeah.
Trip to like have some fun. Like they're doing something. But yeah, shitty. It actually like makes me a Rangers like kind of hater now because they don't deserve the championship they got in 23. Like they won it in Globe Life and
That
like
should have been the Philly. That should have been the Phillies World Series. We sold miserably.
yeah, Globe
Up
Life like
3-2 in the CS. Craig Kimbrell blows the game. Blows game six. We bats don't show up game seven.
mhm,
Diamondbacks make the World Series. They get slaughtered.
mhm.
We had a good shot.
Yeah, and for whatever reason, like PNC Park and Citizens Bank have earned a championship faster than the Globe Life. Like even the Texas Rangers fans, like they were just like not into it. Like, and now granted, there's like a lot of Latino fans there. Like it's like half Latino fans. So like I'm not sure how much they care about the Texas Rangers. Like I think they just like baseball. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. I that's just like the vibe I got. I could be like wrong, but like when you go to like a Fenway game, like everybody's like so dialed in. Like everybody's like pitch to pitch. Like it's like here we go, Sox. It's like all right, like we gotta locate that fastball. You know, people are like chattering about that in the stands, and like, dude, in Globe Life, like everybody's like just speaking Spanish, like not caring about the game. Like nobody cares. Like it's kind of like a social hour in a mall. You know?
Yeah. I might be, I mean, I'm definitely in the wrong part of the country, but I've never met a Texas Rangers fan. So
Oh yeah, I don't think they have like
That's
a
my anecdotal experience with them not having a great fan base.
yeah, because like even like for like you were saying like progressive field like bro, people from Cleveland love ball like
Oh yeah.
they
Just
love
watch the highlights of Game 7 from 2016.
yeah, and
If
you
you want to
know.
get a feel for Indians, now
Mhm.
Guardians fans.
Now, and there might be another layer to this, Duska. Like, where are all the historic venues in the world of American sports? Like, they're all just in the North, a lot of them, because people are just more bored. Like, there's just cold more often, so you just like sit in bars more often, you watch sports more often, you consume media more often. Colin Cowherd has a take about this where he's like loves comedy, so he talks to a bunch of comedians, and comedians are like I like performing in cold weather cities better because the audience is quicker. The audience picks up on jokes more. The audience is a little bit more like thinking on their feet because they just consume more art. Like they consume more, they live like less balanced lives. Like if you're in Dallas, like I don't know how many Dallas people are just like watching every Rangers games. There's like a bunch to do, a bunch to see. Like, dude, if you're in Pittsburgh, like there's a lot of Pittsburghensers that just like watch a lot of Buccos games, you know? And
Yeah.
in the winter, like if you live in Chicago or Philly or Pittsburgh or New York or Boston, like, dude, you're not going outside. I promise you, you're not going outside. Like, you're either skiing and you're flying to like Denver or you're going to a ski house, or you're like watching sports and or drinking beer at a sports bar. Like, it's a little bit more simple. So I think just macro, like California has some really cool stadiums because Cali just has like money and people do love like sports in Cali, but like Miami, like, dude, the Dolphins, like, fine. I mean, like, even the Panthers, like, the Panthers are like the best NHL team, and they don't sell out any regular season games. Like, their average attendance is like 13,000. It's like, oh yeah, we're going to the Panthers are playing. Like, dude, Penn's game is like, if it's Penguins on a Friday night, like, it's freezing outside. Like, you might as well go to the Pens game. Like, there, what else are you gonna do?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I don't think that's a hot take.
No, I just think that's
Yeah. I
reality. I
mean,
think,
the most passionate fan bases are, if you want to just go sheer reputation and how you think about these cities, it's all the most, when people say like aggressive or the most passionate fan bases, they're all, it's Boston, New York, Philly, Pittsburgh. It's all the
Chicago,
cities up north. Yeah.
yeah, like Chicago.
Even like Cleveland, like
Yeah,
Browns fans are
Cleveland,
hilarious. Yeah.
Buffalo,
Yeah.
Chicago, Detroit. Even like when you get into like, dude, Wisconsin, like, dude, Wisconsin and
Yeah.
Minnesota people are like crazy sports fans. Like,
Yeah.
why? It's like, well, this is what we have to do. Like,
Yeah.
we get 4 months of good weather. What were you
I
saying?
think that perfect segue into what we usually talk about. College football is like the only sport that captures the South the way that other sports are captured up north,
Yes.
like
Yes.
baseball and basketball and whatnot.
Yeah.
In the South, football is religion. So
Yeah.
that's the only true sport that really gets the juices flowing
And it's college
for
football.
the
It's
South.
it's
Yeah, it's
particularly
college
college
football. Yeah,
football. It's not like
100%.
NFL football's not really doing it.
No,
It's college. Yeah,
yeah,
that's a
that's what makes
really
it the best sport in the world.
exactly because you can go to
That
every
exact
pocket
fact.
in America and you could find a hellacious fan base that is will ride or
You can go
die.
to Seattle, Washington, and find the same type of fan that you can find in Tuscaloosa, which is
Alabama.
beautiful. Yeah,
Yes, this is why this is our favorite sport, Duska. So
yeah,
I'm really glad that was such a good segue by
yeah,
you.
yeah. Come on now.
Um,
Well,
dude,
this is episode 45. We got some reps.
yeah, we do have.
Yeah,
Yeah,
come
you're
on.
right, Duska. So, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I guess welcome to the Forward Pass. If you've been on for the last 15 minutes, appreciate you listening to some baseball content and sports at large. But Duska, you missed. He's been in camp. So first off, kind of let the audience know.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're dying to know, dude, how's camp going? And then we'll kind of segue into kind of the thoughts you have at college football at large.
Just finished up my final fall training camp of my entire football career. So bittersweet. Obviously, camp is very challenging and tenuous and takes a toll on your body. So in that regard, you always are excited to reach the end of it. It feels like a milestone, and you can actually get into the meat and potatoes of what you spend your entire year working towards. So definitely excited about that. Bitter in the sense that it's the last time I'll go through an experience like that, which is it is very challenging and rewarding when you are going through it. And sometimes you lose sight of what you're doing it for in the middle in the dog days when you get to practice 7, 8, 9 out of 15 and you're really struggling to find the motivation for the day. But eventually I know eventually later in my life I'm gonna look back and be like, man, I wish I was just in fall training camp. So I think I'm trying to think of it in that perspective, and it's bittersweet to finish that up. But it was a good camp. I'm excited for the season. Our first game is September 3rd, so we're gonna prepare over the next 10, 11 days for that, and really get into it. It's football season is here, so I'm excited about that. Excited to talk some college football, and yeah,
Yeah,
it's been good.
I'm really excited for the weather to start breaking towards fall.
Oh, I need it. That's
I'm
the other thing.
really,
I've never done a fall camp in Georgia before this year, and you'd think there wouldn't be that much of a difference between North Carolina and Georgia, but it is. I mean, it's blistering hot here all the time. If you walk outside at like 2 p.m. here, you don't want to be outside. You want to go inside instantly.
Mhm.
So another
Yeah,
factor that I had to encounter as I
yeah.
moved further south this year.
So I had a similar, like I took my fifth year last year. So that was my last fall camp, and five was plenty for me. But I remember just being like, what am I doing? I can't believe I'm here. But we were talking on the phone earlier today, and I'll just share it again. Like fall camp, as much as it sucks, like all I really remember is like it's like you only remember the good parts, obviously. But all I remember is one, all the team meals, especially lunch, because like you finish practice and like that lunch, it could not be any better.
Yeah,
There's
you
no
know you have a
stress.
few hours off
It's like
following.
it's a stress because breakfast is like stressful, like because you're preparing, you're like know what's about to take place. Like so, breakfast, like everybody's kind of in, everybody's kind of listening to their music, like nobody's really like laughing or chopping it
Yeah,
up. Like it's like casual conversation. Oh, what's going on? How'd you sleep? Yeah, I'm okay. I mean, meanwhile, I'm just like, okay, flex right,
yeah.
Y, banana, and you're like, oh my God, yeah, you're like going through all the play calls. Um, but then lunch, like everybody is just even if you didn't play that great today, like just being like you conquered that practice, like everybody's just
Yeah.
it's a hoot, and you know you're about to go back and take a nice nap, maybe play a little college football on the PlayStation, watch Duska just cheese his way to tuna Eddie. And then also once walkthrough ends at like 8:39, you get team snack, and then you just huddle around a TV and watch like Hard Knocks or watch like whatever's on and just talk for the next hour and a half until like 11:30, 11 hits, and you're like, all right, fellas, I guess it's time for
Rinse and repeat.
yeah, and you do that for like 15
Yeah.
days and then but yeah, that's like the fun part. But yeah, the like warming up is the worst. Because like dude, once team period starts, it's like, all right, like
We're
team
getting
period's here.
somewhere. Yeah.
Like at least I'm playing football now. Like, dude, periods like 1 through 8, you're like, I couldn't hate life more. There's like seriously nothing I would hate more. So yeah.
Real. Everyone that's played college football can relate to that.
Yeah. Yeah. So um okay. Duska, so we did SEC and Big Ten without you, and I mean we've got a lot of I mean there's a lot of cogent analysis happening through your brain waves. It's a lot of good brain wavelengths. Is that like a phrase coming
Sure.
through? So, and I know you've been editing. I mean, this guy, he pumps out social media clips like no other. So you've been following along. Do you have like somewhere you want to go first? Because I'm kind of like water for this episode. I'll kind of play off of you because I want you to
And
get your stuff.
um I think that just broad overview, I can give you my quick. I didn't find anything super inflammatory from what you guys were saying. I was pretty agreed to what you guys were saying about Big Ten and SEC at large.
Okay.
I think broad overview, I'm really high on Oregon. And I haven't made it a secret in the past. Dan Lanning's my favorite coach in college football, and just the watching that program develop since his time has started there, and the edge that you see they play with, and the mentality they bring into games. I think the best piece of college football content that's produced by teams, which every team basically has their own mini docu series about their teams. season and process throughout. Sometimes they start when James Franklin got hired, Virginia Tech started a series. It was probably before last season even ended. So a lot of teams do that, and the best content that any team produces, Oregon does a season long docuseries, and it's called Ducks versus whoever. So it's like Ducks versus them, and it's I mean you just get to see Dan Lanning at work. You see him in staff meetings. You see him talking to the team, and it's just having seen a lot of that firsthand and just consuming content overall, nobody fires me up more than Dan Lanning does. So I've always been a huge fan of his and the physicality and mentality that his team carries onto the field every week. That's what intrigues me about him and about Oregon in general. So I'm always rooting for them and I'm always high on them. And I think that Dante Moore is in for a wonderful year. I think rightfully considered a top five to top four quarterback in college football this year, and definitely going to be a first round pick if he's able to produce just at the same level he did last year. So I think with him coming back and just all of the retooling and rebuilding they do, they recruit so well there. I'm really high on them. They're going to be my favorite team to watch this year. I worked on my playoff bracket today, and I actually did not have them winning the national championship, but I am high on them. I think they're going to win the Big Ten, and I'm excited to see what they're able to produce this year. And then obviously standard Ohio State, Indiana, they're going to be really solid. And then starting from there, I don't know if this is a hot take or not. I don't know if I should save this for when we're doing our playoff bracket reveals. I kind of worked on mine today, so I wouldn't hate revealing it. Just getting the
Yeah,
party started
yeah,
on
yeah.
that.
All right, yeah, let's do it.
But yeah, I mean those are the obvious teams in the Big Ten, and then we can get into the bracket in a sec. But SEC wise, pretty similar to you guys. Really high on Georgia. Rinse and repeat every year. They stack. They have Gunner coming off a year of starting and more experience, so you can only get better there. And I really like what Sam said in the SEC pod about it. Kind of just feels like Georgia's due because they've had some pretty circumstantial exits from the two iterations of the 12 team playoffs. They had some really tough breaks or just really small lack of execution moments where teams take advantage of them, and they've been
Yeah.
so close. If they get over the hump in those consecutive games against Notre Dame and Ole Miss, I think they could have easily been in both national championship games competing for a national championship, and they were certainly good enough to do so the last 2 years. So like Sam said, it kind of just feels like they're due. Texas, super high on Arch Manning, obviously. And then going from there, I love LSU. I just the way you guys were talking about how their offense is gonna be able to produce, I'm all over that. I think Lane Kiffin isn't gonna have a tough time transitioning and producing offense at a high level with what he's been able to do in the past. He went into a situation at Ole Miss where they didn't going into year one, they definitely didn't have the type of buzz and acquisition of talent that they did going into this first year at LSU. So I think Sam Levitt is a top 10 QB in college football, certainly. And I mean that I think the sky's the limit for that offense. So as long as they did a good job tooling up in the portal and stacking up on defense, I think they'll be just fine. So I like them. And then going down from there, I think there's a big mix. You have teams like Oklahoma, Alabama, all of them are going to be in the mix. But as far as the SEC goes, my top three is Georgia, Texas, and LSU. So if you want to jump into the brackets, we can do that. I'm
Okay.
sure Sam and Arch will be able to give theirs in time, but I think that'd be
Yeah.
fun to do.
Yeah, I want to get into the bracket. I want to just pick your brain on a couple of things just because
Mm.
I just want to educate myself to the best of my ability going into the season.
Sure.
So I love Oregon. Um, I really love Oregon. And one of my buddies here at the training at Paycom, he's like an Oregon grad. So I've been talking to him about, I mean, there's so much buzz with Oregon. Dude, this roster it's seriously unbelievable. Like the amount of like future first round picks or at least like top 2 round picks are crazy. Like Dante Moore, Koi Parrish, Mateo Uiagalelei. Like, dude, Evan Stewart, Iverson Hooks, Decorian Moore, and what's his name? Jeremiah McClellan. Like one of those four receivers is gonna like pop off like for I don't maybe all of them. Like they have such good weapons. Dude, another weapon people aren't even talking about that much is Jamari Johnson, who's like a monster at tight end. Um, Brandon Finney Jr., one of the best corners in the country. Like he's like probably gonna be a first round pick in 2 years when he comes out. Like the Bear Alexander is a interior D lineman who he'll probably be a really high draft pick. Like the amount of NFL talent is just it's laced with NFL talent, and like they have like one. I like to see like how many guys they pay over $1 million because like if you're Louisville, it's like Louisville pays one guy over $1 million, and that's their quarterback. Like so, if they're not paying what's his name, Ohio State transfer. I'm just blanking on his name because I wasn't prepared to bring him up.
Oh, Lincoln Keenholz.
Yeah, Lincoln Kineholz.
Yeah.
Like so, like they play one guy $1 million. Like according to the NIL standard, which is like the site I use to like kind of see like what NIL valuations are. The Oregon has 12 guys making over $1 million. So like it shows you what type of resources. And Phil Knight, like I love Phil Knight, like that's my guy. Read best book I ever read was Shoe Dog. This guy wants to see a national championship before he dies. Like that is the next thing. Like on he made his life blueprint, and he was like, I want to start Nike, I want to have kids, I want to be successful, I want to IPO, I want to whatever. All that I want to do, he did. The last thing on the Thanos ring is Oregon wins a football national championship. Like that's what Phil Knight is alive for. So he is doing anything he can. And you, like you said, Duska, like they're nasty. So I say all that to say, O line.
Mm.
That seems to be the question about this squad. Can you just tell me about the personnel, what you think about them, kind of where we are in that world?
I think, well, I mean, they're replacing two tackles, so that's always the biggest concern. Going into a season, you have a superstar quarterback. You're going to be able to protect for him, give him time to make plays, and then are you going to be able to run the ball too? And tackles are important if you want to run the ball on the perimeter or hold up in protection. That's why they get paid the big bucks. They have the most difficult and vital job in protection. So replacing two starters is always a precarious position. They had so their starting left tackle is probably going to be Fox Crater, who played a little bit last year. I think he played in the USC game, if I remember
Hmm.
correctly. So he has experience, but hasn't been a full time starter before. And then at right tackle, same deal, position battle in camp. So you don't really know what you're getting there until
Bennett,
the
is that
lights are
Bennett?
bright. I'm seeing so the projected starter is Tommy Tofi, um, which I think I don't know a lot about him, but he's a projected starter at right tackle. So either way,
Yeah. Okay.
you're replacing starters. You're replacing I'm trying to remember their names.
Isaiah World.
Yeah, Isaiah World and Alex Harkey. So two really good college football tackles, road graders that got chances in the NFL. So they produced and were really good players. So they have more experience returning inside. They lost Pregnon, who
Yeah.
was
Oh,
really good for
Emmanuel
them
Pregnon
last
was
year.
nasty. Yep.
Yeah. But I mean, interior wise, I think it's easier to find a good mix. When you're at a school like Oregon that recruits as well as they do, I kind of talked about this with Miami and the ACC pod. When you have that institution for O line play that exists at your school, and finding the right interior mix isn't that difficult. And as you go into the season, it's only going to take a few weeks to see which guys fit in the right spots, and I wouldn't expect them to have issues there.
Yeah.
But it's going to be about the tackles. Can they hold up and can they protect for more? Which I mean, they do a great job of developing an alignment at Oregon, so I wouldn't be too concerned, but there's always a question mark surrounding when you replace two tackles. So that's going to be something to look out for early. And then if you see these guys are able to play and protect well enough, then sky's the limit.
Yeah, so I mean, they kind of get three. I mean, Boise could give them trouble, like maybe, but
Yeah.
I mean,
But it's also teams you expect them to be able to run the ball pretty well against. no matter what. So that always makes protection easier. So Oklahoma State, Boise, Portland State, you think they're going to be able to
For
get
sure.
downhill on these
No
teams.
doubt.
So you have some room for you to ramp up and if you need to adjust your lineup going into USC, which is your first big game, you'll have a little bit of time. You get some good tape on what guys are good at early on, and then go from there. Because I mean, USC is going to have guys screaming off the edge, so you're going to have to be able to protect that game. It's not going to be as easy
Mhm.
as your first few. So, and then also you're replacing your two coordinators. So I mean, there's always going to be question marks around that, but
Yeah.
I trust Dan Lanning and the way he's been able to build that program up since he got there. You'd think that he's going to do a good job and have the right guys in the right places for them to succeed. So
Okay.
I'm not too concerned about it in overall.
And so if I gave you the decision between Louisiana State and Alabama,
Mm.
you're higher on Alabama.
I think I'm higher on LSU.
I mean, you're higher on LSU.
Yeah,
That's what I
yeah,
meant to say.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. How do you feel about those two?
I I'm actually gonna I'm choosing to believe in Kalen DeBoer.
Mm.
And the reason is so they just named Keelan Russell the starter today, which I think is big. I mean, Austin Mack, I feel bad for him because he's a really good quarterback. I wonder if he's got like another year of eligibility.
Played
We're
pretty
gonna
well in the Rose Bowl once
Mhm.
Simpson went down,
I think
but
like he's a good quarterback. I mean, obviously, if it went this far, they're both capable enough.
yeah,
We're probably gonna see Mack at some point, whether it's just like to spill a game, to save a game, injury. Like usually when you're that good, like the team like finds a way to need you at some point. So if Austin Mack, like stay ready, buddy. You're gonna be all
yeah,
right. But Keelan Russell, obviously, like he's the future of the program. DeBoer, I mean, this is the first time that we've really got to see DeBoer with a guy he's recruited like go play football. And the
mm,
last time we saw a quarterback that could like sling it and play in DeBoer's system, we saw Michael Penix almost win a Heisman, almost win a Natty. So, I'm pretty high on, and it's like Ryan Grubb is still there. It's like those two together have shown me like we're not that far removed from Washington going to a
yeah.
national championship. So
2023 Washington, man.
yeah,
They
oh,
should write. They'll write books about him
they
one day.
will. It might be us, dude.
Yeah,
We're just interviewing Roger Rosengard. Like, oh, what was it like playing on that team, man? No, that team was like simply the most fun YouTube watch. Like when we would like come back from
Matthew
game,
loves ball.
dude. Matt loves ball. It's Sunday, and like we would just it'd be we go to right before meetings, which is dude heinous. Elon doesn't get Sunday off.
Yeah,
Part of the I have to
tough.
take it's part of the reason we were so mid was that we didn't get Sunday off. Every program in America gets Sunday off and we don't. Um anyway, but yeah, in the mornings watching a little Matt Love's ball, just Penix slinging the ball around. Oh, McMillan, Jalen Polk. I think he just retired actually
Yeah,
though.
he did.
That is
He
crazy.
did.
He was
Yeah,
awesome, man. He was awesome. Okay.
Roma
And that-
Dunze.
Dunze.
Yeah, come on.
Uh who is their back?
Uh, Donovan. What was his name?
I'm like not remembering their back.
It's oh, Dylan Johnson, right?
It's not really ringing a bell in my head, honestly. I like remember
Number
Coleman.
number 7, number
Yeah,
10,
that's like that now. That's slightly more ringing
maybe.
a bell.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
but he wasn't all that much of a factor in the offense. It was
No.
Cade Westover, the tight end, bro.
Yes,
Oh,
yes,
30,
yes.
37 was out there. Like, dude,
Hmm.
that team was awesome. But okay, anyway, enough about the Washington team. DeBoer is like he's not Nick Saban, which is why people like Alabama people are like, oh my gosh, like we're projected to be third in the SEC. Like, boo, like poor us. It's like, dude, this guy, you're going against Kirby Smart and freaking Sark and Lane Kiffin. Like, these are the best coaches in the sport. And like, DeBoer's got to be that. And he is that. He's like one of the 10 best coaches. He's just not like the best. He's not like the greatest coach to ever walk the planet Earth. So I think like, let's like recalibrate expectations. Now, their defense was really good last year, sneaky. And Cade Womack is a really good coordinator. and they kept him because he's going to probably get a job one day coaching at one of these schools. And I was given the take, Duska, that it's way easier to fix your side of the ball than the other side of the ball. Like Lincoln Riley has struggled fixing the USC defense the day he got there because he doesn't coach that side of the football. But like the problem with Alabama is their offense. Like that was the problem.
Yeah.
And so I trust to be my fix at Felix's the guys who consistently win football games together, Ryan Grubbs and Kalen DeBoer. So I guess like I'm just a little bit high on I think Ryan Williams, we see a better version of him this year. They have the best defensive backfield in the country. Like they literally it's insane everybody they bring back. Like I love Red Morgan in the nickel. I'm blanking on all of their names. Um Keon Sabb and Bray Hubbard at safety. What's their corners?
Great comeback by Bray Hubbard after week 1 of last year to
Yes,
now.
yes, yes. Oh,
Consideration.
Xavier Brown. He's the one that
Yeah.
picked off Mateer for the pick six. Like, dude, that he plays corner. I mean, their DBs are insanity. And you just got to think,
Didn't
like,
he also have a pick six when they played was it what is it, Tennessee?
oh, yeah, that might have been him too.
Yes.
I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
think it was because Dejon Lee is also a really good corner, I think. But I think,
Okay.
yeah, Davian Brown, he's like such a playmaker.
Yeah.
So you've just got, yeah, Bray Hubbard after the Florida State game. Alabama wanted him
Got
crucified.
dragged to the coals by the whole entire
Yeah.
country.
Yeah. No, but he's like a
Bit of
good
an overreaction, in my
hmm
opinion.
That might have just been, I don't know what happened. And that game is the
18,
most,
18 with the worst pursuit angle I've ever seen on this play here. It's like, all right, relax,
dude,
man. He's
that's
a
like
good
the most
football player.
unexplainable. That's such an unexplainable phenomenon. Like, how did that happen? And then that same Florida State team went like 1-6 in ACC
Yeah,
play.
it's
Like, it was
absurd.
absurd, absurd. You know what that is? That's just the Tommy Castellanos experience.
Yeah.
Like, that's just what it is. That's a
Yeah. How
halftime
about
show.
Castellanos trying to force his way into Texas Tech?
What?
Yeah. I don't. Did you see any of that speculation?
No. What?
It's part of the class of 22. Everyone's getting a year back,
Dude, wait.
and
Can we
and
talk about
NFL
this?
players are trying to go back to college.
Dude, how is this happening?
It's absurd.
This is abs so
Dan
Castle.
Lanning Dan Lanning had a nice press conference about it
What
and
do you
how
say?
ridiculous how he just basically talked about how ridiculous it is that NFL players are trying to reverse. I mean, the same thing's happening in college basketball too. It's such a mess. But trying to so the most egregious example I think is Pyburn, the D end that was at LSU last year, is on the Bucks. He's played in preseason games for the Bucks, had 2 sacks in his first preseason game, and then this ruling comes out, and all of a sudden he's trying to rejoin LSU's roster. Like we're not gonna notice that he spent the entire spring, summer, and is now preparing for an NFL season on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He's being actively paid by them, and now he's trying to find a way to weasel back onto a college football roster. So,
Bro.
I mean, it's just ridiculous. Like, what are we doing?
And I'm,
Can common sense ever win?
and
Is
dude,
my question.
and you know who the fucking spearheads of this all are? Fucking
Who?
LSU and Ole
Yes, of
Miss.
course. I saw a clip of Todd Monken. He was talking yesterday after their game, and he was like, "Yeah, Lane Kiffin called me about one of our tight ends." I was like, "This is the most ridiculous situation of all time." And of
Dude,
course, it's Lane Kiffin. It's going to be Pete Golding.
yeah, those two
Yeah,
scumbags just battling
yeah.
it out for Scumbag of the Year award. I mean, Pete Golden is actually battling. He's like what he's done with Ole Miss, like it's so bad. It's like Will Wade at LSU. Like LSU seriously doesn't give.
Perfect parallel.
Yeah, like Pete Golden, like I actually read the article and like it's like four Ole Miss guys that are trying to come back and like
Yeah.
Pete Golden's like torn
Well,
him.
Lane's try. It's him and Lane competing for the LSU guys that could
Yes,
come back.
yes, it's
It's
they
ridiculous.
are such they're
Now, I think there's a difference between I respect if this is going to be the way college football works now, and it's just 5 years, no matter what, no ifs, ands, or buts. That's fine. I don't mind that ruling at all. And for class of 2022 guys that exhausted their eligibility because they played their true freshman year last year, I'm fine with them being able to reintegrate back into college football teams if they're not actively on an NFL roster. I understand it doesn't make sense for you to have this ruling and then for guys to get screwed over like that. Now, I will say we're both in the class of 2021, And we are the only class that didn't have any sort of opportunity like this. Everyone prior to 2020 or everyone prior to 2021, so class of 2020 down, all of them were able to have an extra year eligibility granted because of COVID, even though FBS played a season. So everyone just gained a season back, unless you played in like the Ivy League, which they didn't have a year.
Mhm. Well,
Or
then but you could still transfer out of the Ivy League and use that year of
exactly, and
eligibility.
you could retain that year. Or you're in the class of 2022 and on, and now if you exhausted your eligibility because you played as a true freshman, you can now come back because you have 5 years. So
Hmm.
our class is the only class that didn't have any opportunity for an extra year of eligibility. So class of 2022 wasn't even the one that got screwed. It was class of 2021. The only
Yeah.
reason I'm playing college football this year is because I had a medical red shirt. So I can think of guys that we played with, like Kevin Burkett, who exhausted his eligibility in 2024 because he started as a true freshman. All of the opportunity he potentially could have had if he got an extra year
Mm.
and could have entered the portal, and who knows
Like
what would have happened.
he would have
So
went to somewhere, yeah,
yeah,
solid.
so and I'm sure there's countless examples of that in our class of 2021. So if anyone's truly getting the short end of the stick, it's our high school class. And I think there's a huge distinction between a guy like Pyburn on the Tampa Bay Bucks and a guy like Kazim Moore, who's going to go back to UVA because he exhausted his eligibility, but he was not on an NFL roster.
Yes,
So
yes, 100%.
there's a huge distinction there.
Dude,
But like I said,
you know what the
to
huge
sum it all
Duska,
up,
you know what the
common
huge
sense
you
common
know
sense needs to win. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm saying, you know what the huge distinction is? It's the part where like you like once you like do the professional athlete thing, you
Yeah.
lose your amateur status. Like
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
remember
yeah.
that part of like
That
life?
long-standing rule.
Yeah, where like if you
Yeah.
just join, you can't just practice with the Bucks. Like that means you're a pro. Like that literally means you're a pro. And like dude, you've been playing professional football. You've been practicing against Tristan Wirfs for 3 months, and then you're just like some
Imagine
18
being
year
the
old. I'm back.
imagine being the poor scout team tackle that has to block the guy that's been at NFL training camp the last month.
Yeah. Just literally he's a pro. He trained 8 months for the draft prep. So his body has like never been more jacked and fast in his life. Then he got his iron just sharpened by pro bowlers.
By
Like
Luke Goodicke and Tristan Wirfs every day.
yeah. And then he was like, all right, like who's the true freshman starting at Mississippi State? Like
Good
like
luck,
that
bud.
yeah, like what that's so stupid. It's
Yeah.
literally moronic. I hope I wish I need to like read more into it. I think Arch will probably have a good, but like this is.
I
Do you
like
think?
that coaches are pushing back against it. Like I like a big voice like Dan Lanning. I like that he's pushing back
Yeah,
against this absurdity. Of course, I mean, of course you're gonna have your bad actors. You're gonna have Lane Kiffin reaching out to NFL coaches about players, but I mean Lane Kiffin's gonna Lane Kiffin. So
yep, yep,
as long as you have you have the light side and the dark side. Of course, Lane Kiffin's gonna give in to the dark side and have he's a red lightsaber guy. He's gonna take every
he's
advantage he
Darth
possibly
Maul.
can.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, exactly. But you also have your Kirby Smarts, your Dan Lannings,
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
your Dabos that Yoda, Obi-Wan, these guys are gonna stand for what's right
Yeah,
and not try to let these guys bend the rules and ruin the sport too much,
yeah,
thankfully.
yeah.
But hey, I mean, I mean, we're still not headed in a great direction, but
No, yeah. Even
yeah.
so, and
You
and
got to
that's
keep fighting back. You got to
dude,
keep
and
fighting the
that's
good
why this
fight.
podcast exists. Like, this is a nonprofit organization for
It is.
discussing sports the way they should be discussed and educating the public at large about why sports matter in America, why it's part of our culture, and how and being discussed in a nuanced way that you know, in educates you on the way the game is played, having a little bit of entertainment to it, and caring about the sport and the health of American sports culture at large. That is the mission here at the Forward Pass, and I'm probably gonna have to put that back so I can actually put that in our website because I kind
Great
of like
mission statement. Yeah.
I kind of liked where that went, like off the dome, but. Um, yeah. Anyway, back to our Alabama LSU. I think I want to cheer for Alabama this year. I'm like, so I don't even know if it's like the smart thing. I don't know like the smart money, but I'm like a little bit higher on Alabama. We're gonna get that game though,
We are.
which is
That's
gonna
a oh,
be which is going to be insanity. Like Keelan Russell, Sam Levitt, DeBoer, Kiffin. So, yeah, I think
I just just to give a little bit of reasoning behind my LSU enthusiasm. I just think, especially compared to Alabama, when you have a first year, it feels like this is going to be Alabama's like we're a year away season. Even
yeah,
though I mean I'm sure they'll be successful, they'll probably win 9, 10 games. There won't be enough for Alabama fans, but it feels like it's the get Keelan Russell in these tough situations, build the roster and craft it so that it's ready to be full steam ahead in 2027 and we have our guy and we're going to be ready to make a real run
yeah.
as opposed to this year where they're kind of sitting towards the top. Obviously, they're going to be sitting towards the top of the SEC, but it doesn't feel like they quite stack up to some of the better programs nationally and in their own conference. So this
Mhm.
kind of feels like the Keelan Russell get them right, have a good year, have a Dante Moore, have a Julian Sand type of season. Maybe you're not as good as those two, but who knows? And then full steam ahead for 2027, kind of like Michigan with Bryce Underwood last year, and then I think LSU on the other hand is a little more all in on this year. Even though it's the year one under Kiffin, I think they're the full expectation is for them to make a run at the national championship and the SEC. So that's why I just give a slight edge to LSU.
Dude, the one thing about like Alabama, like I just wish there was a little bit more of is like just a really good running back. Like I just don't see the juice out of like Hill. Like I didn't love him last year. I think they have
Yeah.
like a freshman. His name is like EJ Crowell. Like he's got class of 2026. So um or is that yeah, so he's class of
Yeah.
2026. Like he's a true freshman, but usually
Mhm.
it's like tough for true freshman running backs to make a statement unless you're TJ Thomas at Elon. So, those could always happen for running backs.
Yeah.
But I wish they had a little bit more juice in terms of running because they did not run the ball well last year. So um, they need to uptick that because Keelan Russell's not going to be as like precise as what Ty Simpson was.
And then I just want to throw a quick take as well for 2028 offensive tackle one projection. I just want this to be out in the public. I'm saying this on August 23rd, 2026.
Yeah.
My favorite tackle in the 2028 draft is Michael Carroll from Doylestown, PA. He started as a true freshman at Alabama last year. I
Mm.
think he's going to be the first tackle off the board in the 2028 draft. And I'm saying this on August 23rd, 2026. So we're going to roll the tapes back when I'm correct about that and just appreciate the level I'm able to evaluate offensive line talent at.
I like that. I
Yeah.
like where your head's at.
Just to
Um,
pat myself on the back a little bit.
okay, so we did a pretty like anti-Penn State rant, me and Sam, obviously, as Pitt fans. I'm curious to hear. You're usually the most based Penn State type of guy because you have less emotional ties to it. You're like kind of a fan, honestly. So where
I wouldn't go that
I
far.
know, I know.
Also, you guys have kind of soured my Penn State opinion
Good,
just from
good.
listening to you guys. So
Yeah, we've indoctrinated you
I
slightly.
don't mind. I don't mind the occasional troll of a Penn State fan
Yeah,
these
okay.
days.
It is really fun. It's almost too fun. But okay, what's kind of your take on? I mean, obviously their schedule is Washington, USC, and Michigan. Those are the three games they play. Everybody else, they're going to be a touchdown and a half point favorite. Um, Kind of give me what you feel about Penn State. For me, just going to throw a couple things out there. One, I think Sam had a really poignant point that I didn't even like think about all that much until he said it. Is are we sure like just grabbing a bunch of like mid-level Big 12 talent and putting them in the Big 10 is just going to be like, oh yeah, like they're really good. Like there could be some production that just does not translate to the Big 10. With that said, I think Matt Campbell's really good at his job. So I'm not expecting that. I'm just saying it could happen. Second, I don't love Rocco Beck. I like ish him. Like I like ish him. I'm not even I think he's fine. I have not seen anything. His size is not great, and his ball is fine. He's like his feet and eyes are on time most of the time, which is what makes him like good. But he's not anything special. So if they can't like pound the rock this year, I wonder what type of game they're gonna play, you know? So that's like kind of my Penn State like actual football, not just like me being a fan and being like Penn State. I can't stand you guys as a fan base. I'm saying like actual tangible. What is the Iowa State translation?
I think this might be my hottest take of the 2026 preseason. I think Penn State's going to make the playoff this year.
I said that I said that I said like
Yeah.
dude, if you just win
I think they're
if
going to go 10-2, which is going to get you in.
I dude, they have to lose one of those games. They have to. Like they have to
I
lose to
think
like Wisconsin.
USC going to Penn State is such a tough spot.
Mm,
They have 8 days rest before that game.
hmm
I think they win that. And then at the big house is going to be, I think that pencil that in as their loss. But Michigan's schedule's so hard that I don't think it's going to matter for postseason contention. I think Michigan's going to have at least 3 losses. So it's because I'm factoring. I think Michigan's going to lose to OU. So they're not going to be. You're not going to put a 9-3 Michigan over a 10-2 Penn State no matter what.
I know that's fucking
Even if they
bullshit
won
though.
head to
That
head.
is so bullshit.
Sure.
And this is the problem with the
And Penn State has a
fucking
candy ass
12 team
non-conference
playoff.
schedule. Yeah. So I think it's not going to matter towards the end of the year. And then the other game is Washington, where I don't know. I think they find a way. I think I'm high on Washington. I think they're going to have a good year, but I think 10-2 is very reasonable. Could even be 11-1. So that gets in the playoff.
Yeah,
And
well,
I'm a little higher on Becht than you guys.
you
I
are.
think he's proven himself to be a good college football player. And I think it just, I mean, you kind of know what to expect, and you know what you're getting out of him, and
Hmm
I think it's easy to get an idea of what this Penn State team's going to operate like just based off Matt Campbell's tenure at Iowa State, and I just think they find a way, and their schedule is so light compared to some of their Big Ten counterparts that they just sneak their way in. I don't think they have a puncher's chance in hell of winning any game in the playoff, but I do think they get in.
I think I think the team MVP for Penn State this year is going to be Carson Hansen, their running back. That guy's awesome. At Iowa State, he was awesome. So I think he's going to be awesome. I'm looking at two schools, guys. I'm looking at two schools. There's two spots I love in terms of Penn State losing a game they shouldn't. September 26th, Wisconsin comes to town. Luke Fickell, if you win this football game, you retain your job one more year. Okay. That's all that needs to be said, right?
Okay.
That's like a Wisconsin. And Wisconsin, they got Washington last year. Remember, they got him.
I did.
Wisconsin also has a legitimate quarterback this year. So that's all I'm saying. Wisconsin, I'm looking at you.
Man. Okay. All right.
The next game I'm looking at is November 14th. And it could be, I think they lose to Washington. So Penn State, they're feeling bad about themselves. They fly back to the East Coast and they get Minnesota at home. PJ Fleck.
Always gives them trouble.
What are you? Drake Lindsay at quarterback.
Always give them a
When
tough
was the
time.
last time the Gophers had like a signature win? I know they beat Nebraska last year. That was big. Or maybe those two, whatever. They always have like they'll get like an Iowa or whatever. But they haven't had a signature like ski you ma row the boat type of PJ Fleck win. TJ Thomas gets the ball in his hands. Drake Lindsey
23 gets a loose on them.
20. Yeah, exactly. Drake Lindsey spinning the ball. I think Wisconsin and Minnesota always has awesome receivers. They figure PJ Fleck's just like a receiving. He was a receiver coach forever. He knows how to recruit that position. He knows how to coach that position up. With Minnesota, like they've got guys running around the league. Like for instance, Rashad Bateman, Tyler Johnson. They're always like they just got guys running around in the league. So that's my second spot. But like you said, I'm hoping. That's like a hope. That's not because like Rutgers and Maryland, like that's not happening. Matt Campbell's too good for that. It's got to
Malik
be.
Washington's a good player though. If Malik Washington was the quarterback at Penn State, I think they'd have a chance
Hmm.
at the Big Ten. Honestly,
Yeah.
maybe they can find a way to get that done.
I'm trying to. I need to find one thing, Duska. What do you want to talk about next?
I mean, I'm kind of ready to get the
Unveil.
bracket going.
Oh,
Yeah,
by the way, I totally messed up by not shouting out Colton Joseph. That is the quarterback from Old Dominion that is at
yeah.
Wisconsin. That's like their actual quarterback. I should have said that when I mentioned that. So Colton Joseph and Drake Lindsay, the quarterback of Minnesota. Can you save me from the Penn State
Well,
entourage?
I think the only fun part about Penn State potentially making the playoffs is they'll probably get dismantled by whatever team they play, which will be funny.
I know,
So
but
if you and Sam really want to pull out the hater cap, you'll have an opportunity in December.
yeah, but here's the thing though, like Penn
But them
State,
making the playoff will validate all of the James Franklin
yeah,
bogus that their fans spew.
exactly,
So
exactly. Also, like, dude, there's just any given Saturday, like you don't want to leave that to chance. Like you could face like a Big 12 team that's not great,
that's
that's like
true.
a 10 line and you're playing as the 7 seed and
That'd be funny.
it's like BYU. Like
Imagine
Kalani
Utah or
Sitake,
BYU make it and then they beat Penn State in
that
the
would be
first
sick.
round.
That would
That'd
be
be
sick.
hilarious.
Kalani Sitake beats Penn State after he
Yes.
tried to get him.
Yes.
You can't
I
talk me
okay,
into okay.
I have one topic that could be a fun discussion before we do some bracket stuff. I want to talk about macro head coach rankings in college football overall.
I
Yeah.
really like this.
And I want to preface it by saying for a long time we had Nick Saban and Jim Harbaugh kind of stepped into a role where he was in consideration for being the best coach in the sport. And we lost two coaches that won national championships in the same year. So, or yeah, same year. So I think it left a bit of a void in coaches that have reached that pinnacle and that mountaintop. And then Kurt Signetti obviously put his face on the Mount Rushmore of current coaches, but there's so many young coaches in the sport because Signetti's not a young guy. He's probably had 80% of his career has passed by already.
Hmm.
And it's unfortunate we didn't get him at a younger age in the level of football that he's coaching at now. I think at the same time he might not be the same guy as he was and might not have taken the sport by storm in the way he has if he didn't spend time at IUP and Elon and James Madison. So it might have been a perfect combination of everything to get him to this point. But we have so many young coaches that we consider elite and that have proven to be able to build very successful programs since they stepped into the roles they have recently. And I'm thinking of guys like Dan Lanning, like Marcus Freeman, Chris DeBall, who had a run at Oregon, but now Miami, he's settled into a place there, and you know he's going to be there for a long time. You have guys like that, like Lane Kiffin's kind of in the similar boat. You have those types of coaches, Brent Venables. I could keep going, but you have those type of coaches that you consider in the upper echelon, but none of them have really notched their name in into that upper top tier category quite like Kirby Smart. Dabo did it in his main run, but he's kind of stepped down a little bit. And then you have your other national championship coaches. You have Signetti and you have Ryan Day. So I think this is the year where we get one of those coaches. I coaches that step into that role and are able to reach the pinnacle. And it's one of those younger coaches that we haven't that haven't been able to get the big win. Like Oregon has always been in a good position, but they haven't been able to get the big win. So I think this is a prime year, I think, for one of those coaches to establish themselves. And then I think that the age of the dynasty in college football has passed a bit. Maybe the rules change and we adjust it in future years, but there's a lot of parity in the sport right now. It kind of coincidentally coincided with the 12 team playoff starting, which was kind of beneficial for us because we get the type of quarterfinal matchups that we do year in and year out. But I think it's one of those years where you get your guy that reaches the pinnacle and mountaintop and is able to establish themselves as and get the pedigree of having a national championship. So
For
I want to I
me,
want to hear your thoughts on that group of coaches that I just mentioned.
mm, Yeah. Well, like, so do you consider Venables part of that group? He's kind of older.
Uh, Not really.
Okay. That's
Yeah,
good. I think
I
I
think
think
it's more like Marcus Freeman, Dan
there's
Lanning,
two.
like
Those are
that
the two.
that type of.
Those are the
Yeah,
two. So I was quickly
maybe
jotting
Sark.
I was quickly jotting down who I think the top five coaches in America are. I think it's Kirby, it's Ryan Day. I think those are one, two. I think it's pretty inarguable. I'm not like a huge Ryan Day fan per se. Like I can get annoyed at him and you could say whatever you'd like. At this point, with the national championship he's had and the run he's had at Ohio State, they are like a mini dynasty. And they're dynastic in terms of how competitive they are year in and year out. And it's really impressive. Even when they lose, it's they're so good. So I think
So
it's very
Signetti below Ryan Day for you.
to me, I just think I like Kurt more. Like if when Indiana plays Ohio State, I'm rooting so hard for Indiana, but I think it's hard to have the track record Day does and say that. Siggs was three for me. I went
Okay.
Kirby, Day, Siggs, Lanning, DeBoer. And I think Sark could be inserted there for DeBoer. I think Lincoln Riley is like still really good. I think you could have a plethora of these coaches. I'm sure. I mean, I think Marcus Freeman is right there for the fifth spot. I think the fifth spot is like pretty interchangeable, but I think in terms of like the top four coaches in the sport, put Ryan Day wherever you'd like because I won't even have a problem with it. I'll accept any argument for him. I think he has to be in the top four, but where you put him is kind of up to your discretion. But I think it's some order of Kirby being one, and then Day, Signetti, Lanning being two, three, four. And I don't think it's all that arguable. 5 through 10 is insanely arguable. There's Lincoln, there's Whittingham, there's uh, what up?
Franklin.
I was like it was on the tip of my tongue, and I said probably he's probably outside the top 10. There can only be
Okay.
10. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing about top tens. Nick Wright always says that. The most difficult thing about top tens is there's only 10 allowed. You know,
Right.
like people are like talking about like NBA, like, oh yeah, like so and so is a top 10, like KD's a top 10 player of all time. It's like he's not because the list only goes to 10. Like, and he's clearly behind
It's
like
easy to say it until you got to start listing.
exactly. That's exactly the point. So like if we were actually doing coaching rankings, like you got like Freeman, you've got Lincoln, you've got just keep naming them. You've got DeBoer,
Venables,
yeah, Venables.
Winningham.
I mean, where is Dabo on this list? Like he's got three natties or two
I
natties,
think two natties,
two natties.
but
He's been to three.
I, I just, I mean, I think we've had enough successive years where Clemson has been a level below
But
the top of the sport.
does he get to stay in the top 10 or no? That's the question. Like, do you like Sweeney more or do you like Franklin more? Because that's probably
Well,
who's battling it out for like the last spots.
the thing about Dabo is like, will are we ever? I mean, has the greatest part of his career passed already? Which I mean, I would say resoundingly yes. I don't
Mhm.
think we'll see Clemson at a level that they were in his prime year. So I think he's slowly working his way down the list. He could be on the edge of the top 10 still.
Mhm.
He's had some good coaching jobs. Like winning the ACC in 2024 is pretty impressive with how that season went and with all the turmoil. Even last year, I mean, being able to recover from having all of the expectations and hype you did going into the season, getting picked by me to win the national championship, and then clearly not being at that level and still being able to find something in that year. I think that's impressive, and it's a testament to how good he is. But I just don't think he has all of the intangibles that you need in this day and age to get Clemson back to a level they were at. So I think it's difficult. I mean, he might be edging the top 10, but I think he's slowly climbing down the ladder because he used to be at the top of it. But I just think that day and age is past.
Okay. You have to pick five here, Duska.
Okay.
This is the game. This is so I'm just putting, like I said, Kirby, Day, Siggs, Lanning, DeBoer. That's like who I put in the top five because I think DeBoer is like in the top 10 anywhere, but you can only pick five out of these next couple of people. You get Whittingham, Freeman, Lincoln Riley, Cristobal, Mario Cristobal, Miami, Brent Venables, Oklahoma, Dabo Sweeney, Clemson, Lane Kiffin, LSU, James Franklin, Virginia Tech, Brian Newberry, Navy. Who are we picking? Who are we picking?
Okay. Five out of the ones you just listed. I
Yes.
wrote them down.
Okay.
I think the best, I think currently, I mean, who has done as has achieved as much as Marcus Freeman,
Hmm.
Mario Cristobal?
Yep.
Who has achieved who has achieved as much as those two have out of that group?
I think Lincoln had such a good run at OU. You could say something like that.
So I think I'd take I mean, I don't want to take Dabo out of this group because I think that all of these guys are more capable than he is right now.
So you're out on Dabo. Dabo's
Yeah.
not in the top 10. All right, crossed off. So it's between you get to choose three of these guys out of Kyle Whittingham, Brett Venables, Lincoln Riley, Lane Kiffin, James Franklin.
I'll take Whittingham. I think that just how much Iowa or how much Utah has achieved just places him there. And now we'll get to see him at a place that is a little more resourced and has a bit more pedigree. So I'm excited about that. He is on the older side, so it's going to have to happen a little quicker. But I still like his chances and his odds after a few years at Michigan. And then, I mean Lincoln, I still believe just based on what he was able to do previously, and I
Hmm.
think they've always just been a few tough breaks away from him being looked at in a different light at USC. And then
I think
who
it's
else do
Kiffin.
I?
I think it's
Yeah,
between
I,
Kiffin and Franklin, and I think it's Kiffin.
it has to be Kiffin over Franklin
Yeah.
easily because
Which I,
I mean they were both out there to be claimed last year, and
mhm.
you see where both of them ended up. So
Yeah. No, I think so. I think we just kind of made the top 10 coaches in the sport because I think like Franklin, the next tier of like Franklin, Mike Elko, um, Rhett Lashley, Kirk Ferentz. Like I feel like that's like the next bucket, and they're all behind those guys. So I think if you were the top 10 in no order would be, I mean, this is the order I have it in, but Kirby, Ryan Day, Kurt Signetti, Dan Lanning, Kalen DeBoer, and then you'd probably go Marcus Freeman, Mario Cristobal, Kyle Whittingham, Lane Kiffin, Lincoln Riley, and any of those. And you would be just so hard pressed to find a coach outside of Lincoln Riley to hop Lincoln Riley. Like if Lincoln Riley's at 10, nobody's done what he's done in his career. That's outside of him. So
that's true.
I think we just solved the
I think we nailed it down.
I think we solved the coaching rings. I don't think there's a lot of holes in this top 10. Um, do you want to kind of get into just your bracket a little bit?
Yeah, let's do it. I constructed my bracket today, so it's pretty. I don't know if how much of our audience that's listening has attempted to make a preseason college football playoff bracket, but once you get down to 9, 10, 11, 12, it's a little more difficult than you'd expect.
Hmm.
But yeah, I can just run. I'm gonna run through my top 12 real quick, and then tell you how I have it unfolding from there. So I think top 12 from 1 to 12. Number one is going to be Oregon. I have them beating Ohio State and Indiana in the Big Ten championship game, and I think they go into the playoff undefeated. So they're going to be the number one seed. And I talked about all of my reasoning for making Oregon my
Duska,
selection there.
we are aligned.
You got Oregon too?
We are aligned.
I like it. All right, number two. I think this is going to be the first year that we have two undefeated teams going into the 12 team. I think Miami also goes undefeated in the regular season as well, with a win over Notre Dame. So I
Yeah,
think they're going to be
we are
in that
aligned.
two slot. You have the same there as well.
Yeah, we are aligned.
Okay, let's see how far we can go.
Yeah,
Three, I have Texas. I think they win the SEC over Georgia.
we are not aligned. I have UGA.
Okay, okay, but in the four spot, I have Georgia. So they're going to round out the
Ooh,
the buys.
you
Yeah,
think they're gonna do that?
I do.
I think they're gonna give Texas Tech the bye for being an undefeated Big 12 team.
I think Georgia 12-1.
Here's where
Do
you're
they
wrong.
not?
Duska, let me lay you something out.
Does Georgia 12-1 not get it over?
I think Georgia's gonna be. I think the loser of Georgia, if Georgia Texas went to the SEC championship game, they would both be like one loss teams. There's just
Yeah.
their schedules are so hard. No, but I'm saying, and then the team that
Oh,
loses
okay.
that game is a two-loss team. and that puts them at like the 5 seed rather than the 4 seed because Texas Tech is gonna if they're undefeated going there. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. In my mind, Texas Tech was like a 12-1, as well as Texas and Georgia. So I had Georgia 12-0, and then dropping the SEC championship. Texas 12-1, losing a regular season game, and then winning the SEC. So
Okay.
who's your four?
Mine's Texas Tech. I just think they're gonna be an
Okay.
undefeated
Okay.
Big 12.
So you have UGA 3, Texas Tech 4.
Texas 5 because I think Texas will be a 2-loss team that gets ahead of some of these other like 2 or 1. I don't think they're going to punish the loser of the SEC championship game for losing a game. I
Yeah.
think they're both be like they're going to count a 2-loss SEC team like a 1-loss team that lost in the SEC championship game because like if they
Which is
don't
how it should be, which is
because
how it's always should
if
have been.
like Texas UGA plays and like one team loses and they get dropped to like the 9 line, like all hell will break loose. And that game will stop existing. And like they
Yep.
can't do that. So, okay. Um who's your
All right.
sixth?
My 5 is Indiana, who I have losing to
Okay.
Oregon in the Big Ten championship.
Okay.
So they're in a pretty good spot for the beginning of the playoff. And then 6, I have Notre Dame, who I had at 11-1 with a loss to Miami in the sixth spot.
Hmm.
Who's your 6?
Ohio State. I have Ohio State in there. And then
Okay.
I have Indiana right behind them. So 6-7 is Ohio State, Indiana.
Okay. I don't
And
hate that.
huh?
I don't hate that.
Oh, dude, I so messed up, man.
Who'd you leave out?
Notre Dame.
It's easy to do because
I
you'll look at the whole
know.
picture
You look at the whole picture and you're like, oh wait,
and then
they're
you
in the
forget that
winning
they
squad
play Army and Navy
in the
and Boston
ACC.
College every year.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, they're definitely in this thing.
Yeah.
So damn it, because I low-key loved what I had. Um, and like it's gonna mess up all the seating too. But I'll fix it on the fly. You keep going. You keep
Okay.
going. I want you to keep going.
All right. 7, I have Ohio State,
Okay.
who in my imaginary prediction did not make the Big Ten championship game, but obviously are one of the best teams in the country. And then at 8, I have Texas Tech as my Big 12 champion with a loss in the regular
Mm,
season.
a sprinkled
Yeah.
in loss. Okay.
Yes. Somewhere along the line. And then we go 9, I have LSU.
Okay.
And then at 10, I have Penn State, who I have going 10-2 in the Big Ten.
Okay.
11 is Oklahoma. And then rounding out our G6 team is Navy. Always. I'll always put Navy in that slot.
We are aligned, obviously, on that one. Okay, I fixed it because I actually the way the seeding works, Notre Dame's gonna get knocked out in my first round anyway, so it's good.
Okay.
It's okay. Um, so I was Oregon, Miami, UGA winning the SEC, getting the 3 spot. Uh, because and then since they're a 1 loss and Miami and Oregon are undefeated, that would be whatever. That's how I saw it play out. Texas Tech at the 4 line because they're undefeated Big 12. Texas at the 5. Ohio State at the 6. Notre Dame at the 7 just because they're going to be like a 1 loss independent. Indiana at the 8. Alabama at the 9. So me and you, that's kind of like you're at LSU at the 9. I'm at Alabama at
Yeah.
the 9. 10, I have Southern California.
Okay.
Decided to
That's my
have
Penn. That's my Penn State slot.
yeah. So me and you, we both kind of went that separate ways there, but that's kind of like my frisky team there. I
Yeah.
went USC at the 10 spot. And then I have Oklahoma at the 11 spot and Navy at the 12 spot. I unfortunately think BYU is going to be a spot short here.
Okay.
That's who I have as like
See,
my
that was
first
me.
out.
Utah was my first out
Yeah.
as a
I,
as a
I
Big 12 runner up.
I unfortunately just don't see a way with Notre Dame participating in this one and the other conferences being such a nightmare, and they should get rewarded for playing in such a nightmare that the Big 12 is a one bid conference as well as the ACC being a one bid conference.
Yes. I think that's the way it should be.
Yeah, I
Unless,
think.
I mean, the only issue is going to be if Miami loses if they beat Notre Dame and lose the ACC championship, you will most likely get two ACC teams, which
And then that 10 or 11 seed is either going to be an SEC or an ACC or a Big Ten team. And that's going to be it's going to be like it's going to be like Southern Cal and Oklahoma. Like you're both looking at 10 and 2 teams who like are deserving
it's going to
and
get real controversial.
one of them's not going to go and like freaking Army or Navy's going to go and people are going to be like, what is happening? Yeah. And like, I actually don't really want Navy to go to the playoffs. I'm a huge Navy fan. And like, I mean, I do hope we go. I think it's like good public relations and it's really cool for the school, for all the alumni. Like, oh, Navy's in the playoff. That's really dope. And it's cool for the country. It's like, holy shit, I can like go serve my country, play football, and like be on national TV in the college football playoff. Like, I understand. I want Navy to go, but part of me doesn't because I don't value Navy making the playoffs as like a successful year for us. Like
Yeah,
I want to beat Army. I want to win 10 games. I want to like be competitive. And like I don't like dude, if Navy plays Texas, like it's not going to be good. It's not going to be good. There's in
yeah,
no way it's going to be good. They don't have and that's who you're getting. You're getting the 5 seed. You're getting the loser of the SEC championship game or the loser of the Big Ten championship game. Like both of those teams like Navy cannot. That's like it's like an injury prevention. Like we don't need to play that game, honestly. So again, I actually think like in the first quarter you could like make it interesting. Like you'd slow the game down. Like there's a certain way Navy would have to play to even make it competitive. But I remember being listen. I played in football games like the Pinderson Rams played IMG Academy my sophomore years. All of like my sophomore classes like first game ever starting and like we're playing Nolan Smith and Evan Neal and just Trey Sanders. Like we were just playing a nasty IMG squad, the best team in the country. And like for the first half, like we were in the game and like we were doing our best and our coaching staff was dialed in. But like you can only do that for a half. That you
and
can
your
only
talent fee takes over.
you can only do it for one half of football before the Jimmies and the Joes start to matter, right? So
Yes.
I don't even want to see like the team I root for just like be embarrassed on national TV. It doesn't need to happen. Like, does that make sense or does that sound
Yes.
soft?
No, it makes sense.
Right?
And I mean, it's not like anyone expects Navy to win that game. It's the same every year. I mean, last year it was a joke that we got James Madison and we got who else was it?
Oh,
The two
dude,
and
Tulane.
Tulane.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like it
that's
didn't
like two G5s making the playoff. Like we know what's gonna happen,
like
and
I'd
like
rather
the
Navy. This is why I think the G6 playoff would be cool. Like I think doing a 4 team G6 playoff would be dope. Like Navy, Tulane, James
yeah.
Madison, and Boise, and like that'd be an awesome tournament. That'd be a
And
great
then
tournament.
if a G5 or G6 team is actually ranked in the top 12, put them in the playoff by all means.
Hmm.
But like artificially slotting them in as the 12th best team in the country when it's so far from the truth. I mean, it just takes away from the overall playoff and overall credibility of it because it's not the 12th best team.
Yeah.
It's like the 27th best team. Who, if they got in a G6 playoff, it would be fun to watch them compete against the other best G6 teams. So I'm totally in favor for it. And you still have the opportunity to make the actual playoff if you're a G6 team. You just
Mhm.
actually have to be a top 12 team.
Yep. That's 100%. Like if we get like a Boise team that's like oh, they have like legitimate NFL players and they're like rolling through the Pac-12 and like they kill Washington State and like maybe
Yeah.
they beat like they play like Iowa during their first game or they play like Washington their first
And
game and like
slobber
beat
them.
them. Yeah, like then it's like oh shit, this team is like legitimately part of that conversation.
Yeah. Like Cincinnati when Desmond Ritter was there and they made
They
the
deserve
playoff.
to go.
That was a legitimate, I don't know if it was a legitimate top four team, but certainly in a situation like that, if you had 12 teams, they would be in the actual playoff, not the G6.
Yep.
And that
Yep.
just, I think college football fans would enjoy that a lot more. You can intermingle the bowl games however you want into that situation. There's a lot you can do. So I think it's an avenue that's eventually going to be traveled down, and it'll be exciting when we start to get that. But for now, we'll have our 12 versus 5 slaughterings like we had the last 2 years.
It's like sad because like
Yeah.
dude like Yep. The G6 like 4 team would be kind of fun.
All
And
right.
it would mean a
Oh,
lot.
go ahead.
I gotta leave in 3 minutes.
Okay.
So we're gonna I got a dinner, like we're going to a pizza spot, but
All
we
right.
gotta
Awesome.
rapid fire this. But who is your final four? Let's just skip there.
Sure. Okay. We'll skip ahead. Uh,
Actually,
I
no.
was
No, we're not gonna do that. Just I want you to read it off to me. Just read it off.
okay. I was gonna. I was gonna live go through and pick winners. I can do it quick. So first 12-5, I have Navy at Indiana. I'm gonna go Indiana there. 11-6, Oklahoma at Notre Dame. I like Notre Dame.
Okay.
And then I had 10-7, Penn State, Ohio State, which would be funny.
Ooh, pretty fun game.
Ohio State. 9-8, LSU at Texas Tech. And I'm gonna go LSU.
Okay.
And then we get Georgia versus Indiana. In that game, I'm going to give the edge to Georgia. Texas versus Notre Dame. I'm going to edge Notre Dame.
Ooh.
Miami versus Ohio State. Rematch of last year. That'll be fun.
Hmm.
This year, I think Ohio State's going to win. And then it would be Oregon versus LSU. And I'm going to go with Oregon.
Okay.
So that leaves us with Georgia. It leaves us with Notre Dame, Ohio State, and Oregon. And then seeding, I'm trying to figure this out on the fly. Seeding would be Oregon's number one, and they're playing number four, which is Georgia. And I'm going to go with Georgia in that matchup. And then it would be number three or number six, Notre Dame, taking on number seven, Ohio State. And I'm going to go with Notre Dame in that game. And then our national championship would be Georgia versus Notre Dame. Marcus Freeman with an opportunity in the national championship again to cement himself at the top of college football. But the dogs come to play, and
Oh,
Georgia wins their third national championship under Kirby Smart. That's my playoff prediction. Georgia is my preseason national champion. I have a feeling this one's going to be alive for a lot longer than my 2025 national championship prediction,
yeah.
which was over after week one. Very unfortunate.
That is super unfortunate. I actually had UGA as my winner last year. So they were live till Ole Miss came. So
They were.
yeah.
So
I'm
Monroe
actually
Freeling didn't set off the snap and got edged by a defender and stripped Gunner Stockton of the ball, and it was over.
true, Duska. I'm gonna hold off on mine.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you just a little teaser. I guess I'm a little bit. You're high on Oregon. I guess I'm higher because I have them making a little bit of a run.
Ooh,
I have them making a little bit of a run.
I like it.
I think in my one versus so I have 8-9 being Notre Dame Bama, and I have Notre Dame winning that game, and it's Notre Dame Oregon in the quarters, and that's where
Okay.
I have Notre Dame falling.
Okay.
So we'll get into that later,
We
but
can leave it at that.
yeah. But dude, this was so much fun, Duska. We have a ton of content. We got to get the baseball stuff on the
Oh
TikTok. I
yeah.
think that's
Yeah,
gonna
we'll
be
get it on
well.
there.
I think that's
Yeah.
gonna be a
We'll
good
switch it
change
up
up.
for the for our loyal listeners.
Yeah. So anyway, always a pleasure, Duska.
Truly.
All right.
We're
Peace
almost
out,
there.
everyone.
We're a week away.
Football's coming.
All right.
Football is coming. All right. Peace out, everyone. Thank you for
Peace.
listening. Outro music, go.